Here in the city of Elizabeth. Introduce yourself, what you represent, and what it's all about.
My name is Maria Lorenz, and I am a community advocate and also activist, and I work with special needs parents here in the community, and I also co-partner with Elizabeth Parents and Students Care, which is our group, and then we also have another group which is Elizabeth Special and Unique Kids, and that is a group typically just only for parents with special needs, and we're starting to coordinate activities and events throughout the city so that parents don't feel like they're isolated and they can't take their kids out. It's a nice, safe place, non-political, free of any politics involved, where parents can come and have a good time, some family time with their kids.
What's the difference between special needs and special ed? Is they all the same? What's the difference?
Well, in order to be qualified for special education, you must have a special need. So either you have a speech impediment, or you have a hearing impediment, a visual impediment, or you may be autistic or have multiple impairments, and that may qualify you for related services and special needs within the Elizabeth School District.
And are there shortcomings in this district, Elizabeth District?
There's many shortcomings in this district. I mean, it's a very large district, so I wouldn't expect anything less. We have about 30,000 students, and then we have about 10 to 20% that are classified as special needs. And actually, I was just comparing statistics as to the classification of students, and I've noticed that in smaller districts, they're classifying at a higher rate, whereas Elizabeth is not classifying with triple the amount of students. And they're not classifying as high as a rate as other towns that are nearby. So that definitely is an issue, and I hope it can be addressed. I know we did definitely have that shortcoming. We haven't had a proper special education parent advisory council, which is something that is mandated by law that we have. So there hasn't. We don't have one that's functioning. Well, let me explain first the CPAC. The CPAC is a council composed of parents that come together and they address systemic concerns within the Elizabeth public schools or any public school district in reality. And the first CPAC was actually elected, and yours truly was the president of the CPAC. When I started addressing systemic concerns and teaching parents about advocacy and where to get resources, quickly that turned into a policy to remove me and for the board to then appoint who they wanted to. So last year, they had the principal and the PTO president appointing and selecting members of CPAC. When I spoke at a board meeting that having a PTO president would be an impediment, because that person will then that parent will have to come and say, I'm a parent of a special needs student. Not everyone is comfortable, and that's frankly none of anybody's business except your own. So after that, the policy was then modified to be that it had to be a principal and a member of the child study team. But what ends up happening with that is, guess what? That parent, that advocate parent, won't get in, because the child study team knows the parents, so they won't do that either. So rather than do it by a process of democratic vote, where everybody gets together, gets in a room, and actually gets to say, hey, I want to be a part of that, and who wants to vote for so-and-so, and we need 6 parents, the district has taken it upon themselves to pick and choose who they want.
Well, I tell you, you got your work cut out. I mean,
I
you're talking
sure
about,
do.
you said 20% of 30,000,
That's a pretty high amount.
That's a few thousand kids that's
Absolutely.
whatever.
And communication is definitely also a big lack. I know that we just started facilitated IEPs. This happened in July. We just found out last month, only because I went to a CPAC workshop, and one of the heads of state was there presenting in special education, and Trench had shown up. And parents now have an option of doing a facilitated IEP meeting. And a facilitated IEP meeting basically means that if you think that you're not going to get what you want, or you want to work with the district, but there are many issues, you can ask for a facilitator to come in from Trenton. The facilitator sits there with you, and they try to hash it out and come to an amicable and amenable agreement. Kind of like mediation, but not mediation. So they're trying to work through what the issues are and seeing where we can go. And parents just recently were not notified of that. It was not advertised anywhere. They actually put it up on a website, and it's in a very obscure place that you wouldn't think to look for it. So I'm here to inform the community that you do have those options. If you feel like you're going into an IEP meeting and it's going to be challenging, you can request for a facilitated IEP meeting, And if you don't, you can always reach out to me. I'll be more than willing to help you in advocating and trying to find out what's wrong and what you're looking for, and seeing if we can get a resolution.
How would someone get in contact with you?
You can find me through the Elizabeth Parents and Students Care page. You can private message me, Maria Liza Lorenz, on Facebook, and also Elizabeth Unique and Special Kids is our other group that we run for special needs parents. So you can find me through any of those. You will always find me at a board meeting unless there is a disaster, an event or phenomenon, but you can always find me here at these board meetings. Thank you so much.
She's an expert.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, we